Hello, just a short video this week because, well, I've got a bit of a cold and you can probably hear it in my voice. Anyway, I'm sure some of you will have noticed in my previous videos that I have a Gotek device fitted to my Amiga 500 Plus and my Amiga 1200. That's a device that can pretend it's a floppy drive, but you can actually load the disk data from a USB drive. The specific model I have is called a GoDRIvE, and it has the massive advantage that you can leave the original floppy drive intact inside the machine, still working. And you can use a small little switch to toggle between the GoDRIvE itself and the real drive. It's also really easy to install and requires no modifications to the case at all. There is one drawback however. You can't install that model into a BigBox Amiga like the Amiga 2000 behind me. So, in this video, we're going to take a look at a version of the GoDRIvE that can. First up, full disclosure. Now, some of you have seen my transparent cased Amiga 500 Plus that I featured in a previous video. And when I did that, I also had a transparent enclosure made for my GoDRIvE as well. In fact, I actually had several made as spares. So I decided to send one to Dominic from Digital Retro Bay, the creator of the GoDRIvE, as a kind of thank you and keep up the good work. Oh, and notice how I now have a transparent PowerShark as well. Anyway, a few weeks later, a parcel arrived in the post, and I'll show you the contents in a minute. However, I had been meaning to purchase one of these for quite a while anyway. Now, I'm under no obligations regarding the contents, and we'll take a look at it together. So, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's have a look at what I received. I've removed all the items from the package and we'll take a look at them, starting with these two pieces. The first thing you'll notice is that there's two different colours available, which is nice. However, according to the website, just black and white are available, so this dark grey is actually quite nice. Neither of these colours particularly match my aging Amiga 2000 case, but the difference will actually probably look great. One of these plastic covers actually has the GoDRIvE already mounted inside it. Now, some of you will have noticed that it's actually a lot larger than the front of a regular floppy drive. Well, remember, this isn't designed to replace the drive, it's designed to coexist with it. And so as a result, this is designed to install into the spare blanking plate, which is sometimes used for a CD drive or a 5¼ inch floppy drive. Also in the kit, you get a power cable with a standard floppy drive Berg connector on one side and the larger hard drive style Molex connector on the other. We'll need to power the GoDRIvE, so we kinda need this, and if you've already got two floppy drives installed already, you need a cable like this. Finally, there's a floppy drive data cable, and this is a special one. You'll notice this little twist in the cable here. This is an Amiga specific twist, and all it does is control the in-use pin to make sure that the correct drive light turns on the front of the drive. To give you a comparison, this is a PC floppy drive cable, and the twist is physically across a different set of wires. With PC drives, the light switches on when the drive is actually currently active. With SugarHeart drives, this can be controlled by a separate pin. And if you've ever seen an Amiga with two internal drives and the wrong light keeps coming on, then you've gotten this cable the wrong way round. Before we take a closer look, I just want to give a quick shout out to my Patreons, and if you'd like to support me, then check out my links in the video description. Right, let's take a closer look at the GoDRIvE. It's extremely compact, literally just fitting into the faceplate. You can connect this connector onto your mainboard and this connector here onto the floppy drive. Oh, and the power goes here. You'll also notice if you look real close, there's a tiny resistor soldered here. It is possible to move this and have this be the second drive instead of the first if you wanted. You might also have spotted this removable jumper. Well, this jumper controls a special feature of this drive. Because if I flip this over, you'll see the word GoDRIvE written under here, and this is actually transparent and lights up. We'll hopefully see that in action later on. But I'm sure, just like me, you want to see it a little bit closer, so I'm going to take it apart. Something you need to do if you want to change the colour anyway, although I'm not sure if they ship with the different colours or you have to order it with the colour you want. To open it up, you need to remove 5 screws. And then you'll need to pull off the control knob here and then finally undo the nut. Then the whole PCB will just fall out. We can straight away see that this is powered by this microcontroller here. This is an Artery 435, which is an ARM32 Cortex M4 processor. Notice here these 5 LEDs too. These are what's lighting up the GoDRIvE logo on the front and when activity occurs, but they're split in 3. The left and the right ones are the power LED, and the middle one is the activity. Now I don't know what colour these are yet, but we'll find that out later. Okay, that's a close enough look I think, so let's get this thing installed, and I'm going to have to remove my CD-ROM drive, but to be honest I wasn't really using it anyway. And it's been a long time since we've had an installation montage on this channel. All done. It was a little bit of a fiddle, but that's probably mostly me not wanting to disconnect the power supply from the motherboard. Anyway, I need to plug it all back in again and set it back up again, and then we can have a play around with it, because, as I said before, this isn't your average Gotek. This Amiga 2000 has an accelerator and internal hard drives, so powering up the Amiga will end up in Workbench after a few moments, but I'll speed up some of the footage so you don't have to wait. Looking closely at the display on the GoDRIvE, we can actually see that it's running the fantastic Flash Floppy Plus version 3.42. This can easily be upgraded at any time by following the instructions on the Flash Floppy GitHub page. I also noticed that it's got the drive clicking sound enabled that I really don't like, so I'll change that later, and it's really easy to do. Now that Workbench is loaded, I'm sliding the switch into the F position. This is the floppy mode position, and as you can see, I can just insert a normal floppy disk and the machine reads it just like you'd expect. Notice the second drive, DF1, is also working as expected. And yes, I have these in the opposite order to how most people have them configured. Now I'm putting the disk back in DF0 and I'm going to switch the GoDRIvE into G mode whilst inserting a pen drive. Then I'm using the knob to select the disk I want to load. In this case it's a copy of the Super Twintress game. Can you see how the D area of the GoDRIvE logo flashes red as the disk is being accessed? So that's working how you'd expect. Switching back to the floppy drive and removing the pen drive, sometimes Workbench doesn't notice the disk change, but that's not really a problem, you can just remove the disk and reinsert it. However, I did find switching it the other way around usually does work. I'm now selecting a demo that's actually on this pen drive, state of the art, because I know it's got a lot of disk access, so let's reboot. And there we go, it started to oh okay, it crashed. Mind you, the demo probably doesn't like my accelerator. Let's try something a little bit more modern, and I'm going to speed the loading up as it takes a while. And there we have it, Roguecraft loaded. It's a great game, and if you haven't played it, go and purchase it. You can even get a proper boxed copy if you want. And there it is, behind me, installed. The GoDRIvE, for BigBox Amigas, available from Digital Retro Bay. Links are in the video description. It's perfect for keeping your Amiga with its original floppy drives, but also having the convenience of accessing disk images from a USB drive. I really not only like the flexibility of this approach, but also there's something cool about having those original drives still in there working properly. Even if the only reason you leave the drives inside is so you can switch back to hear the Amiga's nostalgic heartbeat. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.